11:08 p.m., April 2nd, 2022. It's a Saturday. I've been having a conversation with God, really, and other aspects of myself and the Earth Mother. And we've been talking in a conference call, so to speak, with the shadow selves, not just myself, but of the entire collective. Of everything, the core shadow side of everything. And I've been really wondering here, with the questions I've had, about a few different things that you probably have been wondering about too. So I'm going to bring this message to you, and I apologize for the crunching in the back. Lily is having her dinner. I'm going to say this to you, knowing full well that you could be of any age, of any species, in any timeline, or time zone, or time of day, or life. I have no idea how you feel about me. I have no idea what you're going through. Okay? What I'm going to tell you requires you to have a neutral standpoint. It does not matter if you are evil to the core or good to the core. It does not matter. God is God. What matters is you have empathy, or you don't. Or at least you think you don't. What matters is that you have imagination, or you don't. Or whether you think you don't. So, this is for the empaths. The people who feel too much. Or even if you don't feel very much at all. You have a gift. That gift allows you to feel. It allows you to hear. It allows you to see. It allows you to taste. It allows you to know, to smell, to sense. Think about that for a minute. The gifts of empathy and imagination in a brain, a neural network, a structure, a focused point of God source. By the way, I'm right here, and there's that. And Lily's somewhere back there in a box. I'm simply giving you a view of something to look at and something to think about. When you can feel all these things, okay? And then you have imagination. What matters next? Now, we're not talking about just God mattering or your moral standpoint. If you can feel so much, not just of yourself, not just of nature, or the universe, or space-time, gravity, the elements. You can feel all of them, right? But empaths can feel them on a really deeper level. It's almost as if you can hear the song of the universe singing to you if you just tune into it. If you just let yourself hear it and feel it and taste it and see it and smell it and hate it and love it. If you let yourself fall into all of those emotions, good and bad, you are one step closer to knowing the unknowable, which really means nothing. What it does mean is you get to know you a little better. Because you can't ever know infinity. Ever. What you can know of it is where you are and where you stand. And what you feel, see, think, hear, smell, feel, touch, sense, with every part of you. Especially the parts that aren't physically a part of you. You can see into the past, the future, the possibilities, the endless outcomes, the void itself, the light, if you can look at it long enough, without going insane. What matters at that point? What you do with that gift, doesn't it? On a very day-to-day level, you could feel very uncomfortable going anywhere, being near anybody. It could be really easy to make friends, or it could be really difficult to make friends. Can't it? Because you can go and look at someone while they're talking to you, and you can feel an entire lifetime happening with them. Regardless of if they're a cashier, if they're a person walking down the street, someone looking at you in a car while they're driving by, the male person, people on TV, it doesn't matter. You can feel it all as if it's real, can't you? Some of you tune it out. Some of you revel in it. Others of you are crippled by it. Your hearts are so open that you are just constantly in love with everything and everyone, to the point where it breaks you, because there isn't enough of you to go anywhere, to really show them all, and have them all feel the way you feel. All that love. Even for a blade of grass. Others of you use it seductively, passionately. Some of you use it therapeutically. Others of you use it to harm the others. And then they're called narcissists. Oh, they have empathy. They just revel in the opposite side of it, which to some of you is the wrong side. And to the other ones, to the darker side of empathy, the light seems weak, doesn't it? So many tears, so many hopes, so many what ifs, and so many what could have been. The longing and the pain, and the sorrow and the sweetness of all of it. To see a drop of honey and to see all the golden light reflected back into it, and to feel every vibration of color and sound, and then to taste it and to feel what it feels like to taste it. And then to be burdened with that gift in every aspect of human or whatever you are as life, from sexual knowledge, empathy, and imagination, to violence and horror. Your mind can perceive it all, mostly, and your body feels it all, doesn't it? So how do you shake someone's hand without knowing exactly where that hand's been throughout their entire life? In an instant, as you blink and say, "Hi, nice to meet you," but you already know everything about them. All that power, all that love, or hate. It's unfathomable the damage someone could cause, or the blessings they could bring to an entire planet with a gift like that. And some of you throw the word empathy around like it's nothing. Can you imagine what an empath, in full control of their power, in full attunement to the planet, in full harmony with life and nature, focusing on blessings and creation of beautiful experiences, scenes and sounds, flavors, colors and textures, scenes of nature to be planted and grown, paintings, lessons ingrained in children to be better people, more heartfelt, teaching the elders better ways, teaching ourselves better ways, because we can feel all of it. But so far, all of us have gone very far from that gift's potential. Now, can you even imagine what someone with dark intentions, with nefarious intentions, would do with such a gift at their disposal? They would probably control nations, emotionally, mentally, visually, sensorily. They would have covens, they would have societies, they would have groups of like-minded people. But remember something. Even in your worst moments, one moment of laughter, the sound of a cat, the sound of a child laughing, the sound of the rain, it's almost an immediate pause to your senses, isn't it? Like the scent of pie in the distance, or the subtle scent of roses. When you're just far enough to know that they're around, but you can't see them, but you can smell them. To see a field of wildflowers in the middle of a volcanic area. It's like hope. And you have that gift. Whether you've used it to revel in pain, or to be broken by it, or to avoid it completely and focus only on the good. To work the light, as if the light only bends to your spectrum. When you are close to the earth, to the source, you know that even in darkness there is light. Because the dark does not consider itself that, does it? They love what they love. They thrive on it. They use that energy and they twist it in their way. And to them, it's okay. While to the light, they focus on the sparkles, clarity, the light, the healing, the warmth, the joy, the peace, the comfort. But the dark, the nefarious, the evil, they also feel those things. They don't sit there uncomfortable in their castles, in their mansions, in their bunkers. They don't sit there grieving and crying and broken by their gifts. They wield that fire. They wield it with such audacity that to the light it seems like, how dare you be so arrogant and confident, and how dare you use your power to harm others, and how dare you break the rules. Well, who made the rules? Mankind, archons, powers, principalities, the source. Well, incarnated versions of the source, who had mastery of this power to some extent or another. Whether they work the light or the dark, or they walk the neutral ground, they wielded this power, the source. And to you, as a living being of whatever carbon or silica or energy you're made out of, that power sometimes exhibits itself as empathy, as imagination, to create. And then the balance is bestowed upon you, the scales of Ma'at, on your left and your right, and your heart being the center that holds them together. Doesn't matter which side you choose. What matters is that you choose you choosing that side, instead of creating a vessel for yourself and allowing others to control it for you. Are you controlling you? Or are your gifts being used by others? Now, in addition to this, I want you to consider whether you are of the light or of the dark, to meet in common ground, because you both have things to learn from each other that would benefit you both in elevating your inner standing of yourselves as one cohesive source family, instead of fighting each other. We could be helping each other with what we're missing, because the other side has it. Lily has the zoomies, apparently. Well, yes, you do, young lady. The light can be strengthened by the emotions and sensations and intentions they deny having. And the dark can be brought to a more compassionate place, where empathy is tempered with compassion, whereas the light becomes tempered with intelligence, knowing the full capacity of your gifts do extend to the dark and to the light, instead of focusing on one. Master both, so you can be closer to your source. Okay? There are ways you can harness your gift without harming yourself or others, and undoing the harm that's already been caused. It's just a choice. The pain will always be there. So will the joy. What matters is working together peacefully. because we're wasting time and life controlling nations and being controlled by nations when we can have an entire family ruled by intelligence, empathy, and imagination through peace. And Lily has gotten the box again. Wow, can you see her? I don't know what it is about boxes, bro. I don't know what it is about boxes and cats. I think we can do it as people living on one planet that have other planets, or what we consider to be other planets, but they're really not other planets. Because if you can use your gifts of empathy and sense into space, you'll sense that you're surrounded by something that feels like water. And you can swim through all of it. You just have to allow yourself to feel all of it. That includes the good and the bad. Because then you know more about you. And isn't that what you wanted? To feel everything. To know everything. Well, you'll never be able to. So what's the real intelligent, empathic, compassionate, and imaginative thing you can do with this gift? Create more peace. Create better. Progress better. Allow yourself to feel proud, to feel more confident, to feel more seductive, to feel younger, to feel stronger. There's no one like you. There's no one like anyone. Well, except for the clones and stuff, but that's another video. But even they're different. So, you could be a telepath and be like Jean Grey, the empathic, fiery one. You could be like Emma Frost, the powerful, the uses everything she has to her advantage and doesn't think she's doing anything wrong with it. But she knows. And she senses. And she's always reading minds. Or you can be like Xavier and just, I don't even know where to begin. The amount of manipulation, the amount of things you can do. Or you can completely block it off. Or you can be a therapist. Solve people's problems in one session, 5 minutes. You could be a doctor, a nurse, a lawyer, a judge. You could be a, protector, a guardian, a mother, a father, a clergyman, a woman, whatever. You your work in gardens and forests and with children and animals and sanctuaries and schools, communication centers, all because of these gifts. But you're going to have to see the dark side and the good, and to make your choice on what you're going to choose to do with it. I hope you choose better. And I hope you use that power you've been gifted with to benefit you without harming others and without taking shit from others. Because the light will turn the other cheek, but the dark will stop the hand from before it even slaps it. You can use both, as long as you know who you are and that your intention is to harm none and to help all with benefit always to Source and its creations. Because the more you serve Source, the God and the Goddess, to create more heaven, more peace, more sanctuaries, more gardens where you walk, more healed hearts, and mended homes, the more you can be a force of good and order, the more you'll realize sometimes destruction doesn't need to destroy. It can be used to recreate. And when you can comprehend that, you're one step closer to knowing what you are, not just who you are and what you're capable of, but what you are. You've wondered so long why, how, when, where. But really, did you ask yourself what you are? What are you that has all these gifts? What are you? Are there others like you? Who knows? Maybe. Maybe not. But if you don't know what you are and what you're capable of, even just right now, even if you don't know, doesn't it make more sense to choose peace and joy than anything else? Just for right now. A warm golden light on the face of the planet, emitting from where you are, of peace. How your aura would permeate that of the entire planet. Like a mist. I mean, sure, you could be a slut. You could be an evil villain. You could be the heroine or the hero. You could be the maiden trapped in a tower or the abandoned one. You can be the warrior or the nun. It doesn't matter. You're capable of all of it. You can shift in the instant you want, no matter what, anyway. Creation is your gift, isn't it? And you exist in infinity. So there is no competition. There is no danger. There is no real threat. There is no victim, victimizer, or perpetrator. Really, there isn't, is there? Not for someone like you. You already know. Not 10 steps ahead, not 100. You're ahead by millennia. You get to go where you want, when you want, and you get to maneuver the situation however you want. But that does not mean you can control what the situation is to begin with. That's the carnival. That's the circus. That's God's play. That's not yours. That's what you're experiencing as you through their play. And someday you'll have your own. But for now, you're experiencing the story of you and God, no matter who you are. It's you recognizing you. And all you can do is perpetually choose peace. Think about it in terms of what nature has shown you. If you're elevating or you're sinking, does the apple fight or attempt to swing itself? Does a rock dropped in water struggle? Does the fish floating to the surface even put any effort? Or does it let go? You've been taught wrong. The key to grace, the key to who you and what you are, is to witness and to move with the source. So that means when you see an opposition or a negative experience, you do not have to partake in it. You can divert your entire focus and attention to something else and recreate yourself as someone experiencing that something else with a choice. The same way you're presented with tabs on a computer screen, and suddenly something pops up and you don't like it. Are you going to sit there and stare at it and have feelings about it? Or are you going to click the X? It's that simple, isn't it? When you control the dark within you and the light, you control your emotional responses. And that makes you dangerous. Not just to others, but to yourself. Which means you must have intelligence. You must have compassion. And you must perpetually choose peace. And to undo harm. That must be your prime directive. One of them at least. Otherwise, your instantaneous reactions will be like lightning. You don't know how deep you can cut to others with your words and your feelings because you don't know what you are. So the best way for you, whether you are swinging on any side of the pendulum, is to choose peace, to take a deep breath, to give time, at least what you perceive time, and your thoughts and your feelings, to stabilize and for you to name and be aware of them before you move your body or your mouth. Give yourself that second so that you can choose and that you can become aware of what isn't your choice anymore, so that you can choose instead of being bounced as a rock in the water across the hillside. You simply drop effortlessly, or you simply float up to the surface because the air that fills you is of peace. You harm none, and therefore you will not be harmed. So harm none, and allow yourself to experience and witness and feel, and to choose accordingly with what is accordingly proper and relevant and graceful to you, even if it means disagreeing with what everyone else is doing. Does it feel right to you? And then ask yourself, why are you making the choice out of pain or out of joy and peace? Because that pain you feel inside you will lie to you sometimes and tell you everything it can to get you to be hurt in deeper and deeper ways, so that you can feel more pain, so that you can use that pain. But with a heart that breaks, you end up becoming crippled by your own violence. So be careful. Darkness only leads to darkness. You don't want to be where the dark things go. You don't want to be around the things who find joy and pleasure in pain. You don't want to be around them. You don't want to raise your children around them, because they are learning. It might feel pleasurable, it might feel fun and exciting, but that is the trap, because there is harm involved in it. So of course it's sugar-coated. Become aware of this. If it seems boring, whereas the other choice or feeling seems exciting, is that excitement anger? Or is it the spark of creativity forming in you? They're on opposite sides of neutral. Boredom is lower end of neutral. Anger is below boredom. Which way are you headed? Choose wisely, my loves. You have a gift. I love you. Take care of yourselves. And be kind to yourself and to the God you believe in and the God you don't know. That's still waiting for you to see it. Because it's not trying to get your attention with tests or actions. It's simply observing you like a mother watching her child play. Find the silent mother within you, and then find her in the world. Her cry for you, her call to you. You can't hear it, or see it, or experience it in physical detrimental ways. She simply sits and waits for you in the ethers, like a flower in the grass, waiting to be shielded from the rain. It's not like a father who tests you, who pushes you. Find the mother within. Find her in your world. She will make your empathy, whether you are of the light or of the dark. Her silence, her grace, her comfort will assist you. But never lose sight of the Father within you as well. Together you move and float and dance through life effortlessly. Take care of yourselves, and may you know yourself better through peace.